Hello everyone, I am Girly Greninja, and this is going to be a big review video of 7 Pokemon plushies. Usually, when I get new Pokemon plushies, I do an unboxing video of them, which is basically a review except a little more fancy, as in I unboxed on camera, or partially unboxed on camera, or something like that. However, I have a good handful of Pokemon plushies right now that I did not purchase from off the internet, and obviously, since they weren't delivered, there was no box to open. I bought them at a retail store, whether it's Nintendo World or Hot Topic. I bought them from somewhere, and there was nothing to unbox. So now that I've gathered a pretty solid chunk of Pokemon plushies I have yet to show on camera that have not been featured in a video yet, I figured now would be a good time to do a review video, because frankly I usually avoid doing just plain old boring reviews of Pokemon plushies I get, because I feel like those aren't quite as interesting as an unboxing video. Yeah, an unboxing video is fairly similar, but I still feel like an unboxing video has a little more charm to it than just a plain old review. But since I have so many plushies to show, I figured doing a review on this many would be worth people's time, and people would actually want to watch the whole video, and yada yada so forth. So anyway, I'm done talking, for now anyway, besides the review, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I'm going to begin this video with a Tomy branded Flareon plush I acquired from Hot Topic. So, I actually already have 2 other Flareon plushies I purchased before this one, but I wanted this one because basically I have all of the evolutions in either Takara Tomy or Tomy brand. And since, basically, Takara Tomy is, I think, the Japanese version of the Tomy companies. Basically, it's one company. And since it's the same, since they're all from the same company, or similar company, they look very similar. They're similar sizes, they have a very similar feel and just appearance to them, and they fit next to each other very nicely. So basically, I had either Takara Tomy or Tomy brand of all of the evolutions, you know, Eevee, Vaporeon, Jolteon, Umbreon, Espeon, Leafeon, Glaceon, Sylveon, all that, but I did not have Flareon in one of those brands. When I went to Hot Topic, I had a couple coupons to spend, so I stopped in there, and I saw they had this Flareon plush, and I was like, hey, that's perfect, because it's Tomy brand, and I'm looking for, you know, a nicer Flareon plush, or a smaller one, actually. I have a very large Flareon plush that I love so much, and I also have this kind of tiny one that isn't that great, but still decent, but I wanted one that was Tomy or Takara Tomy, so then it would be about the same size as the majority of my other evolution plushies, and I managed to find this one, and I was like, yep, that's mine, so I ended up buying it. Anyway, let's just go ahead and show it off. So the face is done mostly with embroidery. As you can see, the nose and mouth are embroidered, and there's an embroidering outline around the eye, and there's the little white shine as well, which is also embroidered. And there's some details on the ears, and tuft of fur on the head, and there's the fluffy neck, and the fluffy tail as well, very poofy, and it's not that squishy, but still very soft. And the feet are they all have embroidered paw pads, basically, and it's very nice. It looks good. Love that detail. Here's the tag. Right there, you can see, very nice looking tag. This plush was definitely overpriced. It was $18.50, as you can see right there, which is a lot for a Tomy plush normally, as far as I know, but since thankfully I had coupons, so it wasn't quite that expensive as far as I know, but still $18 for a Tomy plush is a bit much. Usually they go for like no more than $15, so a little much, but you know what? I had coupons, so I'm not complaining. This plush right here is a vintage Hasbro Raichu that I got at a sales booth from a fair. That is kind of a strange place to get a Pokemon plush, but that's where I got it from. And it was kind of funny because I'd actually purchased some Pokemon plushies from this exact same sales booth about a year earlier at a completely different fair than the one I got this one from. And I actually briefly asked the woman who was running it, hey, are you like a traveling sales booth? Do you like go to different fairs over the course of the summer? Because I recognized her, too. It was the same person running this sales booth. It was the same everything. Even she was selling the same stuff and everything, and it was just really odd. It was like amusing in a weird way, so. And she said, yeah, I traveled other fairs and stuff. It was like the strangest thing to ask some random person who was running a sales booth, but I had to ask. I was just like dead curious. Now that I've chatted all about that, I'm gonna go ahead and actually show off this cool Raichu. So, as you can see, the facial expression is done with, basically it's printed on, and so is the paw pads, which Pokemon doesn't do that anymore. They use embroidering for a lot of their details and all that, so if this was a modern Raichu plush, it would have, like, probably embroidered cheeks and embroidered eyes, and the mouth and nose would be completely embroidered and all that, but here it's, like, printed on, which still looks pretty great, but I have a feeling if you were too rough with this, that could actually start to come off, but I have a feeling it would be a little difficult to do that. The print on the paw pad is kind of coming off. I don't know if it always looks like that, but it seems like it's been a little worn off. I don't know. Maybe it always looked like that. And the stripes are also printed on. The tail is proportionally too short for the body, but you know what, whatever. It's sewed on as well, so it's not like a free moving tail. You can't move it around freely. It's just stuck on there. And, oh, I don't know if I showed the tag yet. I'm sorry. Here's the tag, and it's a little damaged, as you can see, but otherwise it's completely intact, so that's really cool. And there's the front, here's the inside. You can pause the video if you want to read that, but I'm not going to bother reading it all, because that's going to take like a minute to do, so I'm not going to bother. Here's the back as well. And I suppose otherwise, not too much to him. You know, he's got the white belly and the stripes on his back, so... But otherwise, he's pretty simple, just a cute little derpy, chubby potato Raichu, so he's very cute. I really like him. I definitely want to try and get more vintage Pokemon plushies over time, because they're just very charming and cute, and they look really nice. So, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and move on. And just one note, all the Pokemon plushies you're going to see after this Raichu are from Nintendo World in New York City, because I went to New York City 3 times over the last, like, month and a half, and every time I went there, I went to the Nintendo World and bought at least one Pokemon plush from there. So you're going to see Pokemon Center plushies from here on out. The next Pokemon plush I have here is this gorgeous Xerneas that I'm so in love with. I just love everything about it. It's so pretty, it stands up so well, and it's very big. As you can see, it does not properly fit in the shot. It's probably more than a foot tall, I'd say. And it's just such a pretty plush, though. I really, really like Xerneas, and this plush totally does the Pokemon justice. It just looks fantastic. So, I actually have a bootleg of this plush that I got off of eBay, I think, almost 3 years ago. It wasn't the worst toy in the world, I suppose. It was made okay, but I actually did manage to rip it one time, and the neck was so floppy, and so were the legs. The legs were very flimsy, the neck was really floppy, just whatever was holding the neck up, which, by the way, there was hardly anything in the neck that was holding it up. I think there was, like, one weird thin piece of metal or something in the neck, but it didn't even connect all the way up to the head, and it was just such a poor attempt to hold the head up. This plush is authentic Xerneas. Obviously, you can't tell, you can't, like, feel it, but there's something very thick and hard inside the neck, and that it goes up into the head, and it makes the neck very firm and stiff, so then the plush can carry these big, heavy rainbow antlers properly. And here's the eye, by the way, which I'd have to show this because it just looks so pretty. You can even see the little X in there. Hopefully you can see that. And here's the antlers too, by the way, which look fantastic. They stick outwards very nicely, and they're very colorful and pretty. Not a huge fan of the texture they use. It's like this kind of rough fabric that tends to get dirty really easily, but what can you do? That's just one flaw. But otherwise, I really, really love this plush. And here's the weird thing sticking out of the chest. I'm not really sure what to call them, but my dad called them hands, and now I can't unsee it. So, thanks, Dad, for making this look really odd. And here's the legs that are very nicely stuffed. They're not too flimsy. We have some nice patterns on them, you know, just like the in-game counterpart this plush is made after. And here's the back legs as well, which don't have that same pattern right here, but they do have those weird little whatever these are on the feet, the toes, whatever, the foot, I don't know what to call them. And here's the tail as well, which also looks very nice. It sticks out of the rear pretty good. I forgot the tag. Duh. Here's the tag. I'm just going to show it really quick. Right there, you can see there's Xerneas. And here's the back of it as well. There's the price I paid, about $33. Not too bad at all. And that's basically it. So now that's it for Xerneas. I think I've said everything. The next one I have here is Yvetal. And just like Xerneas, I have a bootleg version of this plush, a knockoff, fake. And that one was also pretty crappy in quality. It was kind of falling apart a little bit, and just general had quality control issues and didn't look that great. And this one is just so much nicer, though. I'm so glad to have the authentic version of it now. So I got this on a separate visit to New York City. I did not get this along with Xerneas. I got them 2 separate times. I think like a week apart or something like that. So I got them about the same time, but not quite. So anyway, let's just go ahead and go over his details and features. So the fluffy thing around the neck is stitched to the neck, which is great because the bootleg I have, it's not stitched on, so it just kind of moves around freely, and you can actually pull it off, which is like really stupid. The crests stick up very nicely, the embroidering is very clean and shiny and looks good. Sorry, the lighting is kind of weird. And there's the markings on the body that look very clean. They're not like painted on really poorly. They seem to be like kind of printed on, and it looks very nice and clean. I think I said that already, you get the idea. And there's like the little weird claws at the end of each wing. Some on this side, here's the other side, and there's that on the tail as well, and there's more of the stripes and all that. Here's the talons and the legs, really tiny little legs, and there's the diamond pattern on down the tail, and on the wings as well, and those little things right there, whatever they're called, I don't know what to call them exactly. And that's pretty much it, really. Here's the head as well, which is also really nice, and you get the patterns and all that. Lastly, to finish off, here is the tag. And right there you can see it says Yvetal. And there's the back. I paid $33 for this approximately. That's about it. And as you can see, Yvetal is really cool. Oh, also, let me do a size comparison. Here's Xerneas. Figured why not. Yvetal is pretty much the same size, just that he doesn't stand, obviously, so if he's sitting down, like just laying there, he's significantly smaller, but they're about the same height. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the last 3, which I got at the same time, but I'm just gonna show them separately, for the sake of convenience and all that. This is my Meowth plush, and I already have a plush of Meowth, but I decided I like this one more than the one I already have. The one I already have is a Toy Factory branded one. I won at a fair, I think, like 3 or 4 years ago. It looks pretty okay, but it's definitely not great quality, and I prefer this one a million times more. I really like this Meowth. It looks so cute and just captures Meowth very well. And it was 40% off, so that made it much more enticing to buy. Having it be it was already $15. Here's a tag, and it was 40% off, so 40% off $15, that's pretty cheap, man. There it is, right there, see, $14.99, that's what it would have paid, that's what I would have paid for it if it wasn't on sale, and even that isn't bad of a price. So anyway, Meowth is very nice looking. He's got an embroidered mouth, the eyes are also partially embroidered. And there's the shiny token on his head, which is done with a nice shiny fabric, which is a fantastic touch. I appreciate very, very much. It's very cool. And here are the ears as well, and the whiskers on the head and the sides of the face. And he's also got his little arms and paws that stick out very nicely. And you can see the paws, I think, are supposed to be kind of like in this pose, sort of. It's kind of hard to tell, but I think that's what they're supposed to be doing. And here are the feet, which have little toe beans embroidered onto them. And here's the body, nothing interesting about that. Here's the tail with the little curl in it. So there's not a whole lot to this plush, just being a fairly simply designed Pokemon and all, but I do really like this Meowth plush, and it's very cute. So I already told you that I have 3 Flareon plushies, including this one, which is a recent addition to my collection, and obviously I showed it earlier in this video, but I also have a 4th Flareon plush that I bought even after this one, and that is the super, super cute Flareon Pokédoll. Holy crap, I love this thing so much. It looks like a little Fennec Fox. Fennec Foxes are so cute, and I can't stand how cute this plush is. It's so awesome. The ears stick straight up in the air, and the eyes are embroidered, which look very nice. Nice, shiny, embroidered eyes, and a little tiny, tiny little nose. And there's the tuft of fur on the head, and the very fluffy neck, and the stubby little feet. And there's also the little fluffy tail. And let's just show the tag. There it is, right there. And here's the back of it as well. Although I do really love this Flareon Pokédoll, Flareon is not my favorite evolution. It's not even one of my top 3 favorites, probably. My absolute favorite is Vaporeon, and holy crap, I love this Pokédoll so much. I've actually had my eye on it for a while, but I never got around to buying it. I was like, I'm gonna get this instead. I'm gonna get this instead. I'm gonna get that instead, or that instead, and this instead. Finally, I just ended up buying it, and I'm so glad I did it because I love this plush so much. It's so cute. Look at this face. It's so adorable. Let me just go ahead and show you it before I get too out of hand. One thing that's kind of peculiar and interesting, not like amazing, I guess, it's not like really super interesting, but I thought it was kind of odd, is that the eyes are done differently on the Vaporeon Pokédoll as compared to the Flareon Pokédoll. For the Flareon Pokédoll, the eyes are entirely embroidered, like just done all with embroidering, but for the Vaporeon, only the outline of the eye and the shine right there is done with embroidering. The rest of the eye is just like this other weird fabric or whatever. So I'm not sure why they went with that. You'd think they make them the same way, almost the same way, but I guess not. Anyway, back to the Vaporeon. There's the little nose right there, which you can boop to your pleasure, just like that. Okay, moving on. There's the fins on the side of the head and on top, and of course, here's the frill around the neck, which on the bottom is the typical nice soft minky fabric that Pokemon Center typically uses, and also there's the on top. It's just kind of this other weird semi-rough texture, which I don't like this texture at all, but it doesn't ruin the Pokédoll for me because I still really love this plush. And on the back, there's a bunch of spikes, 5 of them to be precise, and the tail is just 2 little pieces of fabric to represent the end of the tail. It looks really cute, you know, it fits the Pokédoll style and all that. And also the legs, of course, are just little stubs that are super, super cute. And this plush, by the way, it can stand on a flat surface. I think the Flareon can too. Yeah, Flareon, maybe not. Not as well. Yeah, this one's gonna be, that one's a little top heavy, and Meowth, of course, there's no way. Meowth can't stand. Back to Vaporeon. Just to finish off this video, I basically finished, but just to finish off, there's the tag, the front and the back, and just like Flareon, this was 30% off. All of the Evolution Pokédolls, in fact, were 30% off. So I had to snag 2 of them instead of just Vaporeon and nothing else. I ended up getting Flareon as well. On behalf of Miss Girly Greninja, I give you my sincerest thanks for watching to the end of this video. If you did enjoy watching, please leave a like. That shows Miss Girly that you're enjoying her content and encourages her to upload more. And if you'd like to see more videos from her, please subscribe down there. And I hope to see you watching her next video. Bye!